Welcome to Bringing IP to Life. I'm Anna from Amanya IP and Amanya Design, and I'm joined by my guests to talk about IP. We're going to hear people's stories of their creativity, business, and entrepreneurship. Intellectual property can be a really dull subject until it becomes personal. This is aimed to help see the relevance of IP in everyday life. Welcome to the show. Welcome everybody to the Bringing Intellectual Property to Life show. I am joined by Danny Thompson today. He is the other business half of James. So James is the videographer, filmmaker, director, all the rest of it. And Danny is the photographer, creative director, does all things still, not moving. So welcome, Danny.
No worries at all. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to our chat today. So we're going to hear a little excerpt of the show, and Hold Fire will share about what we've been sharing today.
Lovely stuff. Being on other end of the stick saying, use this photo I took off internet, and they're wanting $5,000 out of me. And I'm like, well, did you mention it? Yeah. I had a lady the other day, yeah. They wanted $5,000 out of her. And she obviously came to me because she's a good friend of mine. I'm like, I said, did you put the name on it? She went, no, I didn't. I'm like, I said, this is it. You're in dangerous territory, really. You know what I mean?
If you've not already seen it, here is a little promo about Danny and James's studio. They've changed venues, but the service is the same.
Hi, welcome to Alban Studios. I'm James Miller. I'm one of the creative directors here, along with Danny Thompson. So if you want to come in, we've got a lovely meeting room here which can be hired out. So we've got the big screen there, we've got the flipboard, nice space for up to about 6 people quite comfortably. So we often get agencies and clients coming in having meetings in here. So it's a great place in the centre of Halifax. So we've got this lovely area here where we've got a little kitchenette basically, where you can make your teas, your coffees. We've got a microwave, kettle obviously, coffee making, get your toast and everything. So a nice little seating area so you can chill out when you're just having a break from work. So this is our co-working area. You can hire out desks, 20 quid a day. Or if you want a longer term lease on a desk, reach out to myself and Danny and we can discuss really competitive rates. So we've got a projector here so we can project onto the screen. We've got a green screen, white screen. We can put different colour backgrounds depending on what the client requires. Obviously we use fully professional broadcast quality camera kit. We can also do podcasts in here. We've successfully done Don't Work with Tossers with Tina Bowden. We filmed that in this area, so it was a professional set with 3 cameras set up and all the bells and whistles for Tina, which we really enjoyed doing. So you can do it in a fully professional studio environment, or we have the smaller room if you're just wanting to do a simple podcast audio with nice sound dampening surfaces. Obviously in there also it doubles up as a video production suite, so we produce all our video content in-house, which is great through Rainbow Trout Films. And then obviously for photography, my colleague Danny will tell you a little bit about the photography side.
So through here, this is our studio, 24 metre square infinity curve, and this is where we do all those headshots, all this branding. We have marketing teams in here doing, fashion shoots, branding shoots, everything. They go to this lovely table here and set up. We have the
co-working area as well for managing directors or creative teams to actually get the photos straight away and get on with work straight away, keeping on top of their companies while the shoot's getting on. It's a really good diverse and versatile studio for all photography needs. We do, like I just mentioned, the headshots and the branding. Also we do a lot of marketing, social media, TikToks here, and also product and a bit of fashion as well. So this is a nice setup of for headshots. We do this a lot for companies where you've got a lot of staff and staff change around. This is where we can keep on top of this. Also your branding and keeping it unique to the shoots we've done beforehand on retainers and stuff like that. Just keeping people on top and keeping that consistency, that high level of photography for companies. And yeah, it's amazing. We love it, and yeah, it's welcome.
So today we're going to hear a little bit about Danny's story of creativity, what's brought him to where he is today, and we're going to talk about IP and how that's part of what he does. Now, if you don't know what intellectual property is, please head over to my first show where I explain about it, explain what intellectual property is, and we're going to hear more from Danny right now. So tell us a little bit, Danny, about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, no, I'm Danny Thompson Photography. We're from Albion Street Studios, which is now associated at the Dean Clough Mills in Halifax, which is amazing in D Mill. That's what we do. I'm a business partner with, like you've just mentioned, with James Miller from Rainbow Trout, who's a creative and film director. It's all good.
Definitely. I can't remember, Danny, where we met. I think we probably met networking a few years ago. I'd met James before I met you, but
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's where we met.
Yeah, was it Sam Networking by any chance or something like that?
Could have been.
Yeah,
Could have
something
been,
like
yeah.
that. It's a few years back now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Like I said, we met through James's crowd, really, wasn't it? So, and obviously he came on to Sam Networking, and that's how it all kicked off.
That's right. So, Danny, we want to hear your story about what's brought you to where you are today. We'd love to hear about the story of your creativity. So, go ahead, share with us.
So it all started when I was a young whippersnapper, 17-year-old, going to art college and design college, which was in Dewsbury, Batley Design. I think a lot of people from that. So we did all his own photography then, and DG weren't really in then at all. It would all film then and stuff like that. So I mean, it were coming in, but obviously at college. We're doing a lot of stuff like being creative and just loving it, really. Going the full interaction of being creative, from ceramics, graphic design I went into, which we did a lot of, again, photography in. And then it kicked off about 10 years ago when my uncle were at a 90th, at Grandma's 90th, and he just having a look through my phone, looking at some photos, and said, "Oh, you've got a good eye for it, haven't you?" And I said, "I don't know, I love doing it. Used to do it at college." Anyway, cut story short, he lent me some kit, and as they say, rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went from college to doing what with the creativity? If you weren't doing photography totally, what were you doing?
I were in the bars, in hospitality. So
okay.
The spoons, all that kind of stuff, and got to like management level. Yeah, it was crazy. Won't go into a story why I went down that way, but it was just from home and stuff. But it just went on from there. But what the skills I have got now from like customer service and stuff like that, being in the bar, as you can probably say, rowdy lot and all that kind of stuff. You can tackle anyone, really. I could tell you some right stories from my bar days. But I met my beautiful wife. I wouldn't have had my kids now. So, there were all that kind of stuff from it. Very sociable, which, as you know, I'm a very sociable person.
You are very sociable.
You know what I mean? So my people skills and all that kind of stuff next to none from that experience.
So what was the time scale from you going to college to you starting the photography?
I did my, 99 I finished doing my graphic design, and then I went into hospitality. And it's like 10 years ago. I still had a camera doing stuff, as an amateur kind of thing. So I've always had kit. So it's never really, but it was just that day with my uncle who said, "Oh, have you had a proper DSLR?" And I'm like, "What do you mean a DSLR?" kind of thing, And I'm like, "Oh, and just give me some kit, full camera, a couple of lenses, and told me how to upload them onto me, and the proper stuff kind of thing."
Wow.
And I just got my teeth into it. I thought, I'll have some of this.
Yeah. So you were doing this while you were still working in the bars and stuff, were you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So doing little bits for parties, and for family and stuff. So no set in stone or anything professionally, as you could call it back then. But yeah, once I got my teeth into it, I got asked to do a first wedding reception, and lovely, and just thought, this is ace, is this? I'll have some of this. So yeah, and just got me. Yeah, I thought right, and I had a big problem with me my wife's mental health, bless her. And when she had to go to hospital for 10 months and stuff like that, I was like, oof, this is it. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to make, do something in life, kind of thing. When you're rock bottom, it's amazing how you think and stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought, I want to be a photographer, and I just put all my energy into that. You know what I mean? So, and what are you now? All smiles.
Definitely. So how long did it take you to take the leap from doing it part-time to doing it full-time?
It probably took me just over a year. I went part-time because obviously my wife were in hospital. So for my children, I went part-time, and then I started advertising and set up my own business to weigh it up kind of thing. Got my mum in and all that kind of stuff in case I had a last-minute booking and stuff. So my friend was an accountant who did small businesses, so he set me up and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I did it all, and like I say, and then I went to a place in Barnsley, so I used to take photos of families in pool and stuff, which got me going and stuff like that. So that got me a bit more extra income as a freelance as well. And then I was sick of working weekends. My wife was coming back as well. Back, so a lot of weekends with family kind of thing. And then I just started picking work up then and stuff like that. So yeah,
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazing when I look back now. It's like come away a little bit. You know what I mean? It's lovely to look back on and where you've come from, because we're too busy wondering what's coming in next. If you know what I mean, you're always looking at the future, what we're going to market, what next product we're going to bring out, and it's just nice to tell you what, we've come a fair. It's been a fair journey, but we're here.
Tell the story. So at what stage did you, because when I was talking to James, we were talking about the conversations you'd had, and then you decided to take the leap to do something together. So we've already heard, if you want to hear the story behind James and Danny's beginning, then you can head over to James's interview. But share your perspective on it, Danny, because it'll be different to James's. Go on. What happened?
Yeah, it was just work I was doing, and there's some videos and stuff. So I was doing your video. And I said, "No, James Mellor, do you know him?" And I'm like, "I've heard of him a few times." Anyway, it just kept cropping up because obviously we're, bringing in the same kind of, clients and stuff. And I thought, I'll have to try, meet up with this guy. And it were a West Vale meeting for networking. And I clocked him. I thought, that's James. So I went over to him. I said, "Can I have your business card, mate? Can we have a brew?" As I used to always say, let's have a brew and a chat. And we went to Pride of Providence. It's not here anymore, but in town in Halifax. And we met there, and it was like when I first sort of clocked out, I thought, is he my cup of tea kind of thing, no word of a lie. And I thought, might be a bit too posh for me, you know what I mean? But, we always have that joke. And anyway, when I got chatting with him, we only had about an hour and a half, and he had a meeting I had, and could have spoke all day to him all day, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And then obviously we came to COVID, and it was just, we're having meetings after meetings on Zoom, because obviously Zoom were free then as well. And we're like, we're just like, going on for hours and hours and hours talking what we wanted to do and all that kind of stuff. And I says, wouldn't mind opening a studio. I says, I'd love to open a studio. And then, like they say, rest is history.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because you are chalk and cheese, you two. I think the thing you do have in common is that you both wear flat caps.
I think he copied that off me, but I'll let him off. There's no rule out there. I can only wear them, but we do wear flat caps. I've always keeps me head warm.
That's it. That's you're such a good duo. You really are. You complement each other so well. So it's a great kind of setup you've got, and people can come to you for both, can't they? They can come to you for all that they need in their, business.
It's like anything, when people ask me for video now. I mean, people come to me for video now. I mean, I do bits obviously with drone for James. If we've got something big on, we all where we can do. But it's a big thing we're on about doing next year anyway. Is teaching each other the skills anyway.
Okay.
So it's we want to if anything comes in and he's not well or anything like that.
Okay.
Which I think is going to be great, and I'm dying to get my teeth into a bit of video as well myself anyway, because I can't sit still for 2 minutes, me, as you know. If it's right to next, I'm a bit of a I'm a very much go kind of person.
Yeah, that's it. So for those of you that don't know, you've just had a massive move, and just knowing what your studio is like, it must have been quite a task to get everything moved over, because it's
eight downloads to be precise. Believe me, going up these.
What did you say?
What did you say?
8 van loads.
It's we have a lot of kit, a lot of kit and furniture, but we're getting rid of quite a bit of it now and stuff like that, because obviously we've come into something half the size. Because we just didn't need it. It's a business decision. Both looked at it, as much as it's lovely. I mean, this is beautiful as well. But we just, it's just one of those things where we tried summer and not probably worked as into his favour. But we wanted to come. There were obviously other reasons why we moved as well, business wise as well. We're always moving, and we thought we were going to get this. Certain kind of what we say, clientele kind of thing. But as you go down other avenues and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't going to work out. We were looking at the future. We had this thing coming up anyway for his rent. So we thought, oh no, we'll venture other place to see what else is going on. And the beautiful Dean Clough came up, which is an amazing spot. You know what I mean? So very, very pleased to be able to get a room in here. It's very much. Oh yeah, it's structurally and architecturally, it's just beautiful. I had my drone up other day flying about, and you know what I mean. Content for us,
I was up there for some training a little while back, and in one of above the gallery, they've got a place where they've got Lego. I think it's Lego of the whole Dean Clough Mills. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. Yes.
I might add that in so you can see just how big the place is. It's absolutely enormous, and it's very easy to get lost. So I'll add that in. You can see how big the place is.
Yeah, I think it's 9 mills in all they've got down here. It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
So you have to give people a map to show them where to find you.
Don't bring a sat nav.
Yeah, I'm in the mill, but I don't know where you are. Where are you? Joy mobile phones. Oh, brilliant. So, Danny, we're going to talk a little bit about what you do as a photographer, and tell us what your sweet spot is, photography wise, because you could do all sorts of things. What makes you What makes you happy when you're photographing stuff?
It's just getting the uniqueness out of people, out of, so their businesses stand out from the rest, kind of thing. And as you know, I've got a bit of a personality on me as well, so that helps people. Like my wife always says, it's your superpower that you can make a best friend in 5 minutes, kind of thing. So that helps me out. But yeah, me beautiful stuff now is branding and doing it for businesses and stuff like that. I did start out with weddings, as you know, and things like that. I still do some of those as well. But me bread and butter now is branding, headshots. I do stuff with property. Obviously, we've got a studio for products and do industrial and manufacturing stuff. But that all comes in with branding and stuff like telling a beautiful story of people's businesses. That's what I love to do. In macro, with drone, getting to meet people, just really getting that love and hard work out of that place and just showing it off with beautiful images. This is where it's my ticket going. I love it. Yeah, as you can probably tell.
Yeah. And you share a little bit about the business, the club that you've created, because that's really good. I've been seeing your posts about that.
It's a new thing. It's only, I think it's 3 months in now. Content club. So this is a few businesses up to. I want to cap it about 10 per club. So per day or morning and the evening or afternoon. It's basically businesses coming together, different destinations. It's lovely for networking while I'm with the clients individually. Like last time we were up at the Manor House.
You were near me, weren't you? You were near me.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and one of us guys there is Dave Kitson from DAC Training. And I had one of my content clubbers down and showing the recovery position, all that, and they all chipped in. One came in with the first aid box, and we got some lovely images for his. So it's just been brainstorming on the go, or people really getting into their own marketing of what images they want in the different destinations where we're taking them, basically. Whether it's one-to-ones, headshots in the beautiful places. Other day we're at Oldsworth House the month before, and so they're getting to go to some absolute beautiful spots around Halifax, and obviously we're going West Yorkshire as well. That's to come. Don't want to give too much away.
Well, who was taking your photographs when you were photographing them? One of the other people in the team. Oh yeah,
that's Ellen, who's my editor. So she does some of my editing. So I bring Ellen across to help me out, she just gets the behind the scenes stuff of obviously from marketing and stuff. So I can put it together, and that then I give to my content clubbers so they can have a little bit for their marketing as well. So that's a little prezi I give them.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I love watching it all happen behind the scenes. So, Danny, we're going to talk a little bit about the IP side of photography.
Yeah.
So, for people that aren't aware about the photography side of things, you rely mainly on copyright, don't you?
Yeah, it's. I shoot RAW, which is a big thing. So, if people don't obviously know what RAW is, it is basically a massive file per image. Yeah. It has all the information. It's not like a JPEG, which I do give JPEGs out, and so you don't have massive files. But I'll go into that later on, no doubt. But yeah, it's just so you can get all the information. Basically, copyright in my world is if you press the button with the camera, it's your photo. It's as simple as that. As simple as you can get it, basically. You know what I mean? And that's the proof. If anything goes down road, like if I took a photo of you and you know what I mean, and it came out, and then they're like, someone stole that and put it onto so and so. We could put together, which I know this is your world, but we can put together and say, look, this is our raw file, and then they won't have a leg to stand on. Hopefully, you know what I mean, because you've got the raw file. So So that's how we, and also we watermark stuff. So if I'm putting anything on there, try watermark it. But these, unfortunately, programs out there can whip them off in no time now. So we AI and stuff like that. But that's the world we live in. We can only do what we can do until someone comes up with something where it can try and stop it or report people quicker. You know.
Yeah.
Sickening, because I've had a few people come to me saying, especially product photography. It's not good when you get a phone call a day later saying, I've put these up and they've been copied numerous times already. For instance, on Amazon and stuff like that, they've obviously just screenshot it and put it onto their own. Because obviously where he gets his stuff from China, everyone can get it, kind of thing. But he puts time and his money into me to make it look nice, and then people are just thinking, I'll have a bit of that. You know what I mean? It's sickening, really. You know what I mean? Because they come to me and go, what do I do, Danny? I'm like, only thing you can really do is report it to Amazon. I don't know any other, really, because obviously that's not my field. I can put it into a nice gallery and put, security, passwords on it. I can watermark it for you. But as far as that, it's, I'm like, I'll help anybody out. You know what I mean? I really would, of course I would do. But it's until we get something we can add on or something, and wherever it goes, it could, like, I don't know, come up with a warning. Is this your photo? And you know, I mean, I think it needs something like that. Surely in this day and age we can have something like that. But but if people I've been on other end of the stick saying, if you use this photo I took off the internet, and they're wanting $5,000 out of me, and I'm like, well, did you mention it? Yeah. I had a lady the other day, wanted $5,000 out of her, and she obviously came to me because she's a good friend of mine. I'm like, I said, did you put the the name on it? She went, no, I didn't. I'm like, I said, this is it. If you'd have mentioned them and wrote down that some people put Getty image or something like that, then you might be able to, you know what I mean? But your best ring person, or especially if you don't know them and you just whip it on the internet, your best thing is to go down right channel and ask for it, or pay a bit of money to have a low res copy or something like that. But whipping it off there, you're in dangerous territory, really. You know what I mean?
You are, yeah. I mean, you're probably not aware of this, Danny, but I'm going to be running workshops in the new year, which is all about that. It's a combination of two courses that I've written. The first one is Don't Steal My Stuff, which is an introduction to IP. And the second one is Smart IP, which is all about learning how to make sure you use things the right way, you reference them properly, you get them from the right places. You try and avoid this whole issue of being sued. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day, and the bots and the AI is now coming into its own with finding things. And they'll go back into internet history. They won't just find stuff from today. They'll go back into stuff from years ago. And they're then sending out emails saying, have you got a license for this? Have you used it properly? Even if you've used it from the right place, but not referenced it properly, you're still in breach of their terms and conditions. And people are getting fined left, right, and centre. And it's just, they don't have any grace for it. Charities, anybody, they have no grace for it. If you haven't got proof that you've got a license or done it properly, you have to pay.
Yeah.
If you'd like to know more about intellectual property or IP, check out the Amanya IP website at www.amanyaipcourses.com. Courses vary from general basic understanding about IP for adults, young people and students, through to professional courses and courses for the USA market. The courses are aimed to help young people, students, designers, artists, business owners and entrepreneurs become IP smart to enable them to protect their dreams.
Yeah, this lady, she's just fighting with them now. saying I don't have this, and that kind of thing. The lady who's been trying to get $5,000 out of her for it.
Wow.
But all being well, touch wood, they can come to agreement, and it's not, but it's an harsh lesson in it. She has to pay it all, you know what I mean? But it's like I'm on the other side of the fence, really, thinking, oh, you shouldn't have done that, Bless her. Hopefully, she'll build some arrangement.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to be in at all. So, and one of the things about photography and the whole thing with social media now, we can just press our phone and save a photo and not give any reference to it. Have you found that you've had problems with things like that? People have just been like nicking your stuff, quality pictures and stuff.
Yeah, like I say, there's the product stuff. I've had that 2 or 3 times. People coming back to me saying that they've stolen them and stuff like that. And you see odd one kicking about, where people have put it up, or they don't mention you. I think that's a bit of a stickler as well. We put a lot of hard work into this. It won't kill you just to put down, it's a Danny Thompson photography photo or that. But you can get that all the time, I'm afraid, but I suppose that might be out of other reasons as well. But get a bit, what they call it with it all. But it's like I say, I stick to my way of doing things, which hopefully protects your client and all that kind of stuff. But when people steal them, I'm afraid that's out of my, as long as I know how to keep them safe, they're super safe here, super safe when I send me a link and a password to them, but after that, then it's like, I know, if you need raw file, I can get that for you, no problem. But, it's like when you're saying, how do I get into Amazon and do it? I'm like, you know what I mean? That might be a good idea for me to write something like that with someone like yourself, Anna, to take away. If you get anyone to do this is the best way to, just a little document. That's a good idea, actually.
That is a good idea. We'll do something like that. That's a good idea. Yeah, definitely.
Cracking idea just over a podcast.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah. Well, Danny, we're going to split this show into 2 parts. So at the end of part 1, I'm going to ask you, if you were speaking to your younger self, Danny, what advice would you give yourself that you would have liked to have known years ago?
Well, I've always, whenever I've had jobs, I've always stuck there, for ages, which isn't a bad thing because it shows loyalty. But there were some jobs I were in and you just dying a death, you're just like, and I wish I could have just had that, no, just get yourself off. And I always say, do what you love. And I say this to my kids. So do what you love. And my daughter at minute, she's just doing her, doing hairdressing, and she is loving it. Never won at school, she was not a big hitter, A-star student. But I tell you what, now she's gone to college and doing something, she knows how to do something. Like she just got her English through doing it through hairdressing, not worded how they would do at school. And she is, she's kicked ass. She's done amazing. You know what I mean? Absolutely super proud. But it just shows you when it's you're doing something you love or hands-on. She's very much like myself. Hands-on, and you're doing something, but just do something you love. If it makes that tick and you get excited about it, you'll know you're not far off being in the job what you love. And I always say that. Yeah, go out and just explore. You know what I mean? Just that is a big. Do what you'll know when you love it because you just won't stop thinking about it and doing it. You'll get up on a Monday morning, you can't wait to go. Like me, I've had a lovely weekend away with wife and this, that, but I get up in the morning, I ping up, get me sent to the gym. I can't wait to get stuck in. You know what I mean? I love it.
That's good. That's so good. That's so good. Yeah, because you can't get time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. So, doing the things that make you come alive.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, Danny, that's absolutely true. It's so true. Yeah. So, Danny, thank you for part 1. we're going to say goodbye to everybody, and we'll join you again for part 2. So we'll see you again soon.
See you in a bit.
Thanks for joining us on the show. Like, follow and subscribe to make sure you hear about what's coming up next. You can head over to the website www.AmanyaIPcourses.com to find out more. See you again soon.